Yo, I think I came up with this saying. I always say endless intrigues. And what I mean by endless intrigues is sometimes there's no point trying to understand someone that's not understandable. So you have people who they set out to misunderstand us. And there are people that there's no point trying to understand something that is confusion, if that makes sense. It's chaos. There's no, like word salad or the straw man fallacy. The straw man fallacy is like somebody distorts the facts and then they argue the facts. They argue the distortion of the facts, not the actual facts. Let me say that again. Something's called the straw man fallacy, and the straw man fallacy is you might be having an argument with someone and they will present something that's not factual, and then rather than what that underlying argument is, they will argue the distorted version of it, if that makes sense. So they're talking about something that doesn't make sense. It's they also call it word salad. So sometimes word salad is like you're having a discussion with someone and they don't actually say anything. They're just using lots of words to sort of mix up, to confuse you, to gaslight you, to play with you. They're just many words, but there is actually nothing. There's no cohesion. There's no actual story. It's just lots of words put together that sound maybe intelligent. So what I was talking about endless intrigues is these characters. Let me start with a story. So when I'm in the skate park and I'm around lots of people, I'm going around and I have like a stall. Sometimes the teenagers that are there, I will let them sit on my stool. If they need a drink, if I'm buying myself a drink, I'll ask them, oh, do you want a drink? I'll buy you a drink. So I'll buy them a drink, give them money to buy drinks, and they'll go buy me a drink and bring my drink back and buy themselves a drink. One of these guys that I do this with, he's a single child, right? And he obviously comes from a family that have money. Like I can tell, like he always has on different Nike tracksuits, different trainers. He has the new skates. On Christmas he had on Nike, new like skates again, new wheels, new everything he gets, like headphones, everything he gets, he seems to get it. So obviously a spoiled kid. Now I'm always good to them. I'm sort of the same with all of them, but I took a liking to him because I was helping him to learn some of the moves, and someone that I was with, she was also helping him, some lady that I know. So we all help him. So obviously when you help people, you sort of get like a closer relationship. So one day, out of nowhere, we're in the park, we're all going around, and he looks at me and he gives me this snarl. That's the only way to describe it. A snarl, like what a dog would do, but in a human form. So it's like sort of like the corner of the mouth, a little bit of the lip goes up, snarl. And I was like, nah, he can't be doing that to me. He can't be doing that to me. So I ignore it. And then there was a day where we were all skating around. I was sat on my stool and I think I was taking my skates off. And he came over and he started patting me on my head. And I looked at him, I was like, don't touch me. So I had to correct him in the moment. Now, my grandmother looked me in the eye when I was really young. And she goes to me, child, you're going to have to mute your colours in this world. Let me repeat that again. She looked at me and she said, child, you are going to have to mute your colours in this world. Now, in our time, this is why I was saying endless intrigues, trying to understand these people. These characters, the more fair you are to them, the more kind you are to them, the more nice you are to them, the more generous you are to them, the more loving you may be to them, the more they abuse you. Let me say that again. The more fair you are to them, the more kind you are to them, the more generous you are to them, the more giving them your time, giving them your emotion, giving them your trust, your loyalty. The more unkind they are to you. In fact, they take your kindness for weakness. Now, you would think that why would that be the case? That doesn't even make sense. I've just spent a day with you. I've just given you this. I've just made you a nice dinner. I've just, spent 2 hours on the phone listening to all your problems. I've just paid your rent for you. I've just bought us dinner. I've just covered, cleaned up your studio. I've just, walked your dog, like whatever it may be. I've just moved, parked your car for you, whatever it may be. These people will take it as, oh my God, this person, they are so weak. Let me get one over on them. Let me cheat on them. Let me trick them. Let me play a game on them. Let me physically abuse them. Let me, go and sleep with his friend. Let me steal money from him. Let me abuse him. Let me teach other people how to abuse him. Let me show people where he lives. Let me send him flowers from a weird account. Let me manipulate him. Let me, or her, this could go either way. Let me try to con them out of their position. Let me try to make them feel small. Let me try and make them feel weak. This is what they do. So that's what my grandma was saying. And the response, or the result, should I say, of some of the treatment of this guy, this little very young teenager, by the way, just helping him, just being good to them, was the snarl. So by letting him sit in my seat, by buying drinks, by training, teaching them things, by spending time with them, out of nowhere, this teenager starts giving me bad energy, bad vibes, starts giving me these horrible looks, challenges me, started patting me on my head where I had to actually tell him not to do that. And he's a very small, underdeveloped kid, so it's not like there's any danger there. So you can just go ahead, I could just go ahead and ignore him. And I saw this at the park as well recently. So where I was training, there's a sand, a kind of football sand. That's an interesting little child's bracelet. It's like a sand. No, I can get it. It's like a sand football pitch, but it looks like a tennis court. It's like a sand football pitch. It looks like a tennis court, and you sort of play the football where it's like netball, and you kick the ball over and it bounces. And these two men, I think they booked it out, and they were there training in it. I'm not sure if they booked it out, but they were there training there, and they had many balls. And this, because we were on holiday here in the UK for Easter, these sort of school children were close by, and I think they asked them at first, could they go in there and play with the two adult guys, and they said sure, why not. So they went in there and they were playing with the guys, and the guys were training them, throwing the ball to them, letting them volley it, teaching them how to lob the ball over from kind of like a serve sort of thing, or their version of a serve. And after maybe 45 minutes or an hour or something like that, 30 minutes playing with the boys, the two men wanted to go back to focusing on their training. So they said to the boys, all right now, well, thanks for coming. We're going to train now. And they fist pumped all of the boys. And then that was their way of saying to the boys to leave. And these boys didn't leave. They just sort of continued playing with them, getting their ball, chasing them. And then I think at the end they sat on the side and started playing their own ball. But they didn't pick up the signal that the two guys were saying to them that they wanted to now be alone, that they've given them enough time to play with them. They've, gave up their time. It's now they want to focus on their time. And this is what the world we're going through, is that a lot of children nowadays are not planned, and the parents are unhealed, unawakened. A lot of the parents are narcopaths, and they are bringing in more narcopaths. So what you're having at the moment, we're going through this end time, and I believe that the next time is going to be worse than now. So the children that are also coming up now are going to be sort of broken. They're going to have these antisocial personality disorders. They're going to suffer from these same possessions that these parents are, and it's just because they're not being brought up right. We're losing, the sort of the adages of respecting your elders, of sort of having manners and respect, and just being a kind person and treating people how you want to be treated, and religion as well. So a lot of things, a lot of the stories, allegories and stuff like this, you learn from the holy books, the holy scriptures. And if children are grown up and they're growing up using the TV as their teachers, they're growing up using the internet as their role models, then we're going to end up with a nation of broken people. And that's what I wanted to tell you today. So these characters, if you give them your finger, they want your hand, and then they want your arm. So protect yourself. Make people prove to you that they're worth your time, worth your trust. Even though it's sad that we have to think in this defensive way, where we're actually not introducing ourselves with love or our energy. We're giving away our energy. We're using our discernment. So we are making people prove to us something walked past. We're making people have to show us first before we give up our empathy and time. We are making an attempt to vet people, vet scenarios, vet places we go in, and we're sort of just trying to protect ourselves from a lot of, quite frankly, energy vampires, protect ourselves from narcopaths, from these skinwalkers, these destiny swappers, these people who are suffering from highly narcissistic personality traits and these antisocial disorders. So we have to really take time to figure out first whether something is going to work for our advantage or not, and then move forward in a positive way.